check me out, shot in my short car Dodge. Love line is the boss. The other is very loose thing. Well, also peace and safety to the occupant and spread across the whole continent of the world. It's not be true for diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. Brothers had a great meal on Atlanta here on another Saturday. You know, it's prophesied, you know, the downfall of America. You know, better known as Babylon. Right? Read the scriptures. It speaks of the great fall of Babylon, you know, or America. And we're living in those times. You know, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know, you see that America, you know, is involved in the beginning stages of an all-out war, which is known as World War II. All right. Now, if you're, you know, paying attention, you know, to the details of it, like the prophecy, you know, Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, you know, gas prices rising, you know, what else? Grocery prices rising, inflation is at an all-time high, you know, tension is rising between America and Israel, you know, you can see that all the prices are starting to line up between watching the beast, you know, by way of the iron fighting microchip, all right? So you can see these things happening. What can I do in order, you know, to protect, to have protection, you know, in these times, you know? So, without further ado, we'll get into the scripture.
It's Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people words of promise, which I will put in thy mouth, said Yahweh.
Yeah, it says, speaking into the ears of my people, saith the Lord. You know, who is the Lord speaking? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right? That's the Lord speaking. You know, so the Lord told us, the Lord said, what? Speak it to him, man. You know, speak what? Speak of the things that's going on. Promises. You know, like I mentioned before, the mark of the beast. You know, World War III. You know, peace, hating the war. Tornado, the war being America. All right? Listen, you know, brother, Saw, you know, then you find us there in Revelation 6 chapter, you know, which is basically, you know, the body of prophecy of the now man. You know, identify who the so-called white man is. You know, Esau Edom, you know, going to how he wants to take power from the earth. You know, take peace from the earth. You know, yeah, power was given to him to take peace from the earth. You know, who was that power given? The Heavenly Father. Howard, this is true name. People who call God. The Son, Yahweh Shai, name, Hebrew tongue. People that we call Jesus Christ. You know?
God continuing on, verse 2.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Yeah, and what's the paper? The scriptures. You know? Book. You know? So what? They are faithful and true. So learn these things that's written, you know, in this book, you know, can be debunked, man. You know, if you have the right understanding of it.
Rick Cannon.
Yeah, Nick Cannon.
Cannon.
destruction. You know, set for death. You know, so of course, if you set for death, it's the reason why the Lord has in that 2/3. Mark that 2/3, man. Why? Also, you never believe. You're not gonna believe. You know, but the elect, 144,000, and the 1/3, the peaceful multitude. That's who's going to believe, man. You know.
This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. It says, "For what if some do not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?" It's saying, what if some don't believe? Does it change anything? Does it change the word of the Lord? Because your friends or your family and the rest of the world don't believe. Yeah, 2/3 don't even believe. That's what Jordan and Israel. They don't believe. Does that change anything? No. All right, I'm continue on. Verse 4 says, "The Most High forbid." Yeah, that's the Most High be true. But every man alive.
Right. And if you think about it, if we have the mindset of that wouldn't be fair. Because the leaders before us, even during the Bible, the disciples, the apostles, they you don't think it was powerful in those days. Did you stop them from teaching the word? No. You know, they kept preaching, man, through it all, through the hate, the persecution, the hate, the persecution, the false claim, false claim, all the way up to that. That's the same mentality that we have to have. That's the same mentality that we have to have now. The same way. And the same should be said. Matter of fact, that you got more on that?
Yeah, a little bit more. But, everybody can live that. But it's so what the Lord told us to stay faithful to death. Their walk isn't our walk. Their life isn't our life. We can't wait and follow the multitude to do evil, man.
Yeah. So that's the mentality they like to find a way to ride. Wave being, the thing that's popular, hot, the trend, you know. Literally, the elect is the real trendsetters, man. And why is that? Because the elect, they're known as the outcasts, but on the back end, on the latter end, everybody's gonna be trying to find the elect. I just keep saying, and they should know that a prophet have been among them. And why is that? Because they're gonna be seeking out the prophet. Those guys are right. What are those guys, that was on, 34th Street, man? The apostles. Who always stood up for what they believe in, man. Lord, Lord said, that's a hiding place, man. But not that was. Lord will be a part of that number, you know? Trendsetter prophecy means to say before the trend, to be on trend, you gotta see what's you gotta be early to it. You gotta like outside the true and every man is lying. The line is that the influence comes from the outside. Right? So these are our words, man. These are the heavenly Father's words. And shit, even with us, and if we slip at the time, like what? Words and values correct. Bring it out. It reads in Job 32 and 7, going into what the brother is speaking about. I said, yea, should I speak in multitude of years, should seek wisdom, but there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Yeah, man. So the spirit in man, and it says what the inspiration is of the Almighty. Yeah, man. So it says that thou may be justified in thy saying. Who's going to be justification? The Lord, man. Lord is the one who justification for the elect. Not even ourselves, man. We're not justifying ourselves. The Lord is the one who makes his words and talk with it. If you're more like it, it's y'all much we don't know.
like you were saying, a lot of people
Right. Yeah. 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 And even a lot of people, even watch the gospel of the information don't give credit where credit is due. Somebody comes saying, real truth in it, stuff that y'all watch the outside. Y'all watch the outside.
Amos 3 verse 7, surely the Lord Jehovah will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants the prophets.
Yeah, man. So the Lord revealed his secrets to the servants and prophets. Matter of fact, and that's sinners. It's excluded. You know? But the elect was the ones at the beginning of their lives who got the right understanding. Right? You know? It was that one person who screwed their sentence up to where you knew at the end had a little different sentence. You know? That's how you gotta look at it, man. So the elect is the ones at the beginning of the line who was got the sin. You know? Like you tell that person, you know? Everybody after that, after the sentence is broken up, everybody after that, that's the right there. You know? It's a holding fast. The faith word that is what it's called. You have to hold on to what you can talk. You see it a lot of times. Guys have learned something and got it. So got it. Had the understanding of it. Not proud. Now it teaches something totally different. Right? True. A lot of people they hold fast to what they were taught. Or the longer that you're in it, you know, the longer that you're in it, the more you know you have to hold on to it. Right? It's wild sellers. Everything. You got the notepad, you know, energy. Energy is up. You know, once you start going through the tribulation, man, do that fire. You know, that carry that burden. You know, walking that strength. That's what it means, man. You know, that's where the knowledge comes from. It's like the wisdom. That's where the wisdom comes from. Your trial and tribulation. You know, why you think Yahushua was such a mighty man? Look at the thing that he went through. You know, put his life on the line for a whole nation. It's in Hebrews chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, those who were his son, and learned obedience by the things which he suffered. Yeah, so it says, so he wasn't keeping the 5 8, right? Yeah. It says, though he was his son, it says, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. Right. So the Lord, Yahushua, he learned obedience to the things that he suffered. Right? He said, what about obedience? Obedience is the disciple. Right? So he was obedient. All that you did through his obedience. Nothing but a creation. You know? People don't look at themselves as somebody created. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 5, and it reads, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So the Lord knew you before he even formed you in the belly. He knew you.
came as forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Yeah, so all of our walk prior to us coming into the truth, that's how the Lord fashioned it to be. You know? That's how the Lord fashioned it. Because even in the womb, before our father and our mother came together, that's how heavy this is, man. We all come from different walks of life. We teach what the same lesson. That's a miracle, man. Right? The enemy don't want to see it like good. He's always trying to provide a copy. Chapter 45 and verse 9 reads, woe unto him that striveth with his maker, let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Potsherd is clay. It says, shall the clay say to him that fashioneth it, what makest thou? Or thy work? He hath no hands, how can it hit unto you? It says, Isaiah 45 and 9, it says, what sorrow awaits those who argue with their creator? Does a clay pot argue with its maker? Does the clay dispute with the one who shapes it, saying, stop, you're doing it wrong? Right. And that's basically what people do. You know? How the hell are you going to tell the person who came up with the wrong? That's why I still say, every thought that you have, every link that you have, every move, every piece that you have, every scratch that you have, the Lord thought that. Watch what he said, Isaiah 5 and my thoughts are not your thoughts. These are my ways, are your ways. It says, does the pot explain how clumsy can you be? Right. It said how it says like it says, does the pot explain how clumsy can you be? Right. So the pot, the one was being created. So I understand. Right. I'm literally walking with my own hands. You know, you really wouldn't even know if you created something, right? It was your thought. Only you would know if it's a mistake. Right. You the one who came up with the thought. Dependable. You know, he made Pinocchio. Yeah. With fashion and wood and strings and all of that. Right. I got a look tomorrow on that. Isaiah 45 verse 10 in the NLT, it says, how terrible it would be if a newborn baby said to its father, why was I born? Or if it said to its mother, why did you make me this way? This is what the Lord says, the Holy One of Israel and your Creator. Do you question what I do for my children? Do you give me orders about the work of my hands? Right, and that's why the Lord is very serious with his people. like how you don't show no respect, honor, or reverence to him who created you. You know? Because if you did, you would be out here teaching. Women will be in order. You know? Women would look up at us for what we do, the prophets of the Lord. You know, and they all do it natural. Have respect. And no one's from the outside. You know, all possible. Money your mama and dad. Lord said he
It says, verse 12, it says, I am the one who made the earth and created people to live on it.
Yep.
With my hands I stretched out the heavens, all the stars are at my command.
Yep. So this is the Lord. You know, he can stand on that. You know, and that's why he's gonna take power back. Away from you. Ain't nobody stopping. All right. Because he gave you rulership over his creation. He got you choice. Without pollution everywhere. It's like sewer. It's always a stench in the air. Don't uphold the backside. You got China, you got landfills everywhere. Pollution in the ocean. That's why it's good to say it's not to the chapter. One of my favorite scriptures. It says, "Look, if the Lord is going to set one over the prophet, because these mountains, there's my people as of right now, are prophets. And if you were to have the rules like these, you would have God look at it, take the spiritual aspect out of it. You really look at who else really set up and run the world besides right. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. You even go to Jake's neighborhoods here in Atlanta, like suburban neighborhoods. They put point. Yeah. Yeah. Grass be cut. Yeah. Everybody know their property line. Right. Cars clean. Yeah. Cars clean. Everybody else got a phone in line. issue. That's why the Lord said, hey, let the wood and stone say, you know, you want to worship something, worship is something that I created over me. Make that make sense, you know? The mirror, you know, everybody worships it. It's idolatry of yourself. Looking in the mirror, tripping and muscles, and you know, you got, you know, like, and you think that that's what happens. Get to your own mind, man. You think that you're doing it yourself, man. Right. You know, but really the Lord is setting you up. You know, you ain't got your, you're not following Him. Yeah. Right. You know, we can look good and all that, but you got to put first things first, though. That's what got you. I got you your shine. Yeah, He's priority over everything.
Verse 26.
Finish out. Right there. It says, "Who is worthy of eternal praise?" Oh, amen. Right. How much do I shout? Worthy of eternal praise, right? Oh, how do you look like, worship in that image? What has He done, for us as a people? But here it is, generations, and alive, still got niggas worship. Information is out there that the Heavenly Father, the Son is so-called, like, you know, it would make sense. Like, if that's your God, where you want to look? Right. Where the fuck does this image come from? Right. You know, like Jesus. Okay, so man, I love Jesus, man. You know what? We got all the information, Google, AI. Let me see where this image comes from. Niggas don't want to even inquire about the Father. That's why down to the animal. This Bible literally acts where animals be trying to make, like a male or trying to make another male. No, that's not normal. Right? No. That's crazy. Who was to blame for that though? It's crazy that you get that mistake. Like you said, so you literally have male animals trying to make it. What? And then people try to, well, they just animals. They just dumb animals. No, animals that's it's the how Esau genetically made you like that. You know, where they may be a certain breed or not really a breed. If you have a certain animal, they come out with malfunction. You know, like they say, all like majority of dogs come out all white.
let's look at that show.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb.
Yeah, that's it.
And the leopard shall lie down with the kid.
Yeah, that's because that's really the natural order of things. You know, when the Lord gave them over to
Yeah.
so that means the fear wasn't there. You know? Like what can if the Lord gave the power to protect me right now? So, I don't know enough about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in fear. I'm not about to walk into the room. Yeah. So that's going back to the natural order of things, man. You know, I'm just making my point. That's how I got out there. Because that's what the Lord is doing right now. And, where animal means spirit. You look it up where it means breath of the Lord. You know, they most are creating those beasts. You see, subjection to animal. You know, like you said, Father man, personality, dynamics that he was able to be amongst them. You know, it wasn't like he had to capture them. That's what he saw. Yeah. See their behavior, psychology, anatomy, all these different stuff. That's what they have to do. Yeah. It's spirit. Yeah. Yeah. So we read that again about
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the little child shall eat.
Yeah.
Verse 7, it says, and the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
Yeah, because really, the Lord is doing away with their own food chain. You know? That's basically what that scripture is saying, man. You know? Because now if that were to happen, it would be both eat the lamb, you know, the lion looks at the lion, feed the calf, you know, the ox, you know. So the Lord really is going to reconstruct the food chain, man. The order of how things is. Even with us, man. You know, even with us getting our diet right, man, because we're not able to uphold, diet to the fullness of our capability right now, man. I gotta put on this commentary and read a little bit. But it says that the lion will eat straw like the ox. Lions are carnivorous by nature, so the idea of a lion eating straw like an ox is a radical transformation of nature. This phrase suggests a return to the original diet of animals as described in Genesis 1 and 30, where all creatures were given flexible food. It symbolizes the complete restoration and renewal of creation under the Messiah. This is true. They got so in the kingdom of heaven, speaking in regards to these animals are going to be all in, killing each other. Everything is going to go back to the exact piece. Yep. That's going back. So when the Lord put everything in the natural order, nobody or nothing will have even the thought of disrespecting how about you, how shot. Yeah. City of peace, man. Even Jerusalem over there now, that's really the elect right now, man. You know, the elect is a foreshadow, of how things are to come. You know, like the scripture tells us to be peaceful amongst each other. You know, how can what it say? How can be together, walk together, and be agreed? You know, so the elect is a foreshadowing of how the kingdom is going to be. Because it's like more. Because the fashion of this world is passing away, and that's what y'all brothers are talking about. All of the different things that we used to, or that we've grown up seeing, which we speaking about the animals, how they operate. All of that is going to pass away, and we're going to have a new world. This is First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 31, and it reads, "And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away." That's, and that fashion is going into everything. Yeah. Religion, whether it's going to be wiped out, it's going to be the truth. That's it. That's it right there, bro. And the Lord has given us the wisdom and knowledge of understanding all of it. Yeah. We still have, even after the destruction of America, we still have so much to learn. Right. You know? Because we really haven't been in the king's seat, right? Establishing, authority over, millions of people, right? We still have to learn, king, dialect and mannerism, right? You remember we will be speaking the Hebrew tongue, new body, you know. So it's still a process even after America is destroyed, man. You know, that's why it's saying the whole fashion. Matter of fact, see if you use the word fashion about yourself. Because you have said the whole fashion pattern faded away, man. You know, so the whole way of living, yeah. You know, because even the way of how, the birth, how you come into the world, why? Because this fucking devil is gonna protect the out of his kingdom without his bullshit, man. Right. Remember, he's adverse to literally everything that the Lord mentions in the scriptures, man. Right. Yeah. This devil has trained us to be good slaves. Like when you go into speaking about you don't really know the ways of living freedom. We learn it through the scriptures, but ultimately playing it out in real time as a priest, role of a priest or the role of a king. We have to exercise that. Yeah. It starts now. Small level. That's a lot of components that actually be the truth. Yeah. And King David's lifestyle, how all the things he was assigned to do in his role, position he had to play. That's a high office. Yeah. And it requires a lot of resources. We don't have resources to get teachers. So you might make 30, anywhere from 30 to maybe in the 70s, 80s, 80,000, give or take for certain things. Yeah. Maybe more or less. That's still considered poor. That's still poor. Yeah. But that's why even the Lord was kings, not even the Lord's horses. That was the Lord. The kings were expensive the maintenance of the horses. Yeah. That's what the maintenance of the maintenance to having your own land, slaves. Slaves.
myself in this captivity.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a slave.
Yeah.
And that's because of the way that this devil has conditioned the society for everything to be adverse. It's even adverse to be like, even in the nature world, as a servant, you could live a practical life, so to speak, as a servant. Here in this society, being a slave, it goes against the grain of your life. I was saying, the amount of money that you make, you're gonna have to eat for it. Like in the ancient world, you can eat basic foods and have a basic diet in the world. Yeah, the one has a basic from the tree. You will actually get the nutritional value from fruits, apples, vegetables. Here in this society, you eat the same shit on a low level. Those GMO fruits and all these different things. After a while, you still have all kind of adverse effects. Within your body. You gotta go to these stuff for medicine. You go to these hospitals. You get rich. Even the ambulance costs money. That shows this place is just totally out of order. And it's expensive as hell. You look at the prices for the medical industry in America compared to the other countries. You see this place is totally out of balance.
And I know you made mention yesterday about America. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, we do the best of our ability to do that. But hey, like the scripture say, you gotta eat your food to value.
Oh, if I make it but to eat healthy, you gotta eat what they call whole foods. Certain stuff that's nature, natural foods that come straight from nature. And this devil makes it illegal. And you gotta get all these required licenses and have land, like you just said, to get ox, cows, goats, sheep. That's a full-time job in itself. And this devil is monopolizing on the agriculture industry. A lot of these individuals that have these agricultural based families for hundreds of years, a lot of those families are still in business. Or they should go bankrupt.
During C-19, that whole industry took a big hit. So where his big being affected to the very day. They lost billions of dollars behind that. They were able to sell their products like they got.
They had to shoot a lot of their cows in the head. They had to kill a lot of them. That's documented. They had to kill a lot of their animals because there was just a lot of people flow. They could have sold some of the stuff. It would have been best for them. Because the meat markets, the middleman markets, those were not taking hits from the flow of traffic. Processing facilities. They sold a lot of clay. It's all in the 1960s.
being mass produced. You know, and that's how these works. It works in mass really a lot. Everything. If I could just one thing, but it's under agriculture industry production. It says U.S. agriculture is experiencing a generational downturn with net farm income predicted to fall roughly 24% below 2022 levels, driven by high production costs and low commodity prices. Farm numbers dropped by 7% between 2017 and 2022, totaling a loss of over 140,000 farms. That's terrible. I just read a little bit on the website. The U.S. has lost roughly 148,733 farm operations from 2017 to 2022, representing a 7% reduction. Total farmland has dropped to 876 million acres. That's crazy because, of course, these are kind of plays on numbers. You know, how you do that? GMO, yeah, that's all. Yeah, most a lot of stuff that we not even fucking with. Yeah. Background perceives and reacts to the world. Yeah, that's the thing that we were taught. Yeah, you know, this devil come out, you come out the womb, smack the pain. You give him social security card, social security number, and then you like you indoctrinate, American with your American justice, man. Maybe why do we want to do right? So that from the womb, they bring you up American mentality all the way up to you die. And it said what? It said the fashion of this weapon is passing away. Right. So everything about the power of life, I got that word fashion etymology as well. This is a physical makeup, composition, shape, appearance. Jump down a little bit. It says making or doing of preparing, also group of people acting together. So it's basically, there's a lot of points I had in my head at the time. Also this devil likes to, he's a great deceiver. So, scripture speaks about how he keeps all nations to himself. Right? So he's trying to group everybody into one, you know, diabolical mindset, just like this devil's mindset. Yeah. Speak about how the Lord set up over kingdoms the basis of men. So a lot of these things, the farming and all that, a lot of it, some of it could be true, but a lot of it could not be true. It's just lies, So but the fear and the devil puts on the people sways the masses. It sways the lives of the people. Fear is a big thing. And a lot of people got their fear in the proper place. Your fear is supposed to
so-called, what they would call revolutionaries or activists, individuals that were going against the grain, and how they went out. Went out by prison, where they got killed. Like, you know, so-called white men, and they know, they'll know it comes from standing parts of the government, like the FBI and the CIA. You know, there's all kind of documents, as well as documentaries. Watch stuff like that on Netflix. You can see how the government has been instrumental in destroying trauma. You know, to come against this man. So it's like if we were to, do this, and then they'll put this energy of hatred, mixed fear, self-hatred, and the feeling of lack of faith. So-called black Native Americans building things. So like this is just goes on their lives. Yeah.
The scripture also say that we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, you know, we were rehearsing the righteous act too, you know, we know the righteous way. You know, you gotta have a balance too. You know, too, as well, because we know that we're behind you. We know that there's purpose in it to have the wicked. So he wants to go. Although, you know, you got certain things, you know, just like all the brothers and Moses are saying, you know, there's certain, like, you know, let's say, farming, they tell you there's certain agriculture, there's certain Esau trying to eliminate that middleman. He's trying to eliminate the middleman. But you know, into these other countries, farmers, they get with the people there. They don't then sell product. But you gotta go to your local supermarket and get meat, produce. But you know, these other countries, you just walk outside and go to your local chicken fight.
Yeah.
These farmers will be rich when they can just get with the people instead of having to have a contract with these big
Yeah.
companies like Walmart,
Yeah.
Target,
Amazon. Esau always got to be the fucking middleman. That's why he got. That's what he got to be the street type of whole picture. Well, we ain't gonna have to pay taxes until you tributaries until you got. This is just for a moment. So it's, Romans 13, record of the season what it is. That's how it works, because we ain't looking on our time. All right, but you gotta believe, when the Lord God makes it through, right with the Lord. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of the prudent man is well ordered. Right, and that's something that the physical makeup, the physical and the spiritual makeup of Esau don't have. You know, the scripture says that the spirit was protected, not upright. You know what I'm saying? The Lord didn't genetically modify Esau to be a wise judge. You know, but we ain't much wise according to what the scripture says. You know, you know, leaving the food on the trees, for the poor. You know, hell, Esau happened to where the fucking rich get more benefits and appreciate the poor. Yeah, they'll go into this job. I heard brother speak about that today. They'll announce how much money they're gonna generate. We made When I got a job in FedEx, bro, I was working there probably about a year or two. That game gave us a 10 cents. 10 cents.
So excited about a damn brand.
Like joy. That's really the time that we have is us breaking out in our curses in the moment. Yeah. Because the said that bring in little. The curses say that you'll bring in little. Us understanding that the curses upon us weren't meant forever. We have to tell you, like, no, fuck the devil, man. You know?
This is 2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
Right, man, because we have hope and faith in how much we outside. So we don't look at the things, that's what really keeps us going. I have hope and faith that it's going to be better. Because this devil has to be moved out of the picture, man. It will be. Ever since, we learned, how he moved, even without us having the face, man. How he just took over the world in a short amount of time. We've seen the capability of this devil, man. All right? So he has to be eradicated.
Continuing on, it says, but the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Right, man. So the things that we see are temporal, man. It's only for a moment. The way that society, in the world, is made up. Like I it's all meant to be temporary right now. We're gonna have children different in the future, man. You may have a woman. You may have a woman that you just want to have. You are going to have a woman that you just want to have babies with every 10 months. You will have a woman that she doesn't want to. You just want to see her in this particular part of earth. You don't want to see her nowhere else. It's just gonna be up to your imagination. Because really, how Esau created the dynamics of his system for everybody to be a working class citizen. Yeah. All these women got fucking jobs and shit. It sounds so weird. So, yeah, that's really, you have your own personal, like post office about the care. They didn't need a paycheck, because you would take care of them. Yeah, you was the bread. Yeah. It makes sense you don't get adequate amount of money in your pay. Here it is, you'll be busting your ass. You don't really know how much you make. Yeah, yeah. You don't know how much you get paid. Right. Imagine $20 an hour. Yeah. 15 pounds. Yeah, bro. Imagine, because we work warehouse jobs, right? Yeah. Imagine if you load one truck. Damn. At FedEx, right? Amazon, whatever. That truck got at least 100,000 to 100,000. Yeah. It's like 3,000. For a whole hour doing that shit.
Man, I talked to my supervisor. It was like each item per ticket. got to file the tax.
Then tax on tax.
You get tax on tax on tax on tax. Tax on the soul out of you, man. That's why JP finished out here, man. You know? That shit is unrighteous. And we the only ones that's truly sighing and crying. You know, like we the only ones that really got a problem. Speaking about like the inception of America, it was like a 6% tax. That was the whole thing with the Boston Tea Party, if I'm not mistaken. You know, because it was like a 2% tax. But they was irate with that tax. So the next time it's way more significantly higher, you know, the amount of taxes that you pay. These people are content, you know, they're content with slavery.
You gotta pay taxes at the cash register.
Pay taxes at the cash register.
You
might have to pay on, you might go to the dinner, but you got to pay $5 minimum, or you might have to pay a convenience fee. So they put money on top of it. You know, you get a check and you might get a cash, and you got to pay money on that. It's hard.
Everything that Esau does, man, is profitable because he got the blessing on it. Yeah. The top of God is in the world above other nations that's on top of Israel. Israel. We had to do one of this. Yeah, and that's why, like, that's why I thought I could spot 10. Esau was a wise ruler. He would have it to where his people, the citizens of his country, would actually want to further it. Yeah. It's like, well, you got to think about him, brother Rob, just to get a job to further your economy. Yeah, do a heist or something. Yeah. On other people's water and money in the banks. Yeah. Like, you can have so much more.
As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
Right. So it says, as the judge of the people are himself, so is his officer. So the people who Esau sets up, they adapt the characteristics of Esau, man. You know, just like you see the J in the IC of the company. Look, you can't automatically think it's him.
Yeah, he got a touch spirit on it.
Yeah.
But you might go a black cop. It'd be great. Sometimes we get a white cop. Yeah. I think I can give you a
little break.
no type of break.
Yeah. Esau, like, the indoctrination, man. Esau indoctrinated our people so fucking bad. You know, to where they don't even see color.
Oh, that's what Bernie Mac had said on Bernie Mac on Don't Be Minutes. You know, it was humor, but it's the truth. Talking about black people.
Oh yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everything about black, that dark skin, Jake is hot.
What's that? Bro name? Yeah, Uncle Rugged, man. You know, and that's how Esau wants it, man.
Until you know in what manner of man the ruler of the city is, which are all they that dwell therein. Verse 3, an unwise king destroyed his people,
Yeah.
but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Yeah, it says an unwise king destroyed his people. You know, Yeah, I think they said they spent millions of dollars. They lost millions of dollars to fit the interest. Yeah, you know. It's not like it's coincidental. He actually goes out his way to make sure that there's bills. That's what you have to do. Yeah. You know, it makes it extremely difficult to actually have a legit business. You know, actually be reach a level of financial security here in America. You know, you might retire with $100,000. Yeah. You're gonna spend all your life working in these one industries. Yeah, trying to make it out. Trying to make it out. Yeah. Yeah. Not getting enough stock. Yeah. And it's no coincidence with them how build up some people who live in one city their whole life, you know, just confined to a block, to a square, you know, repping the name of the street that belongs to anybody.
That make Jake on the whole dumb as hell.
Tell the niggas they can't get it. Yeah, tell the other niggas don't come.
Well, Esau put that in the hip hop industry.
Yeah.
He promoted that shit. You had the Franchise Boys, the Pastor Troy, and Jermaine Dupri. They all flooded these urban streets where Jake is at and made them Lil Jon and the East Side
And you
Boys.
know, because we was speaking about taxes, the metro area was done with jail. That's where most of the taxes is being paid to. But where are they spending the tax money at? They're not building no buildings. No, they're not paving the streets. They're not putting no houses, no neighborhoods, or nothing. They possibly spending the money. I said, God, I'm step down.
God. This is Sirach, chapter 14 and verse 5. I'll read real quick, try to get down to 9. It says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his own goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself. And this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly.
Yeah.
And at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
Yeah.
Envious man hath a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. Covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. The wicked drieth up his soul.
Yeah, and that's and when you really suck it in, think about it. Greed is really gonna be the downfall. You know, because when he came out to the he can't be satisfied. You know, how are you not satisfied with that? With the whole thing? You know, you still trying to catch yourself. You know, so the Lord said, I'm gonna try to take you out of the picture. You know, where you really supposed to be. Basically,
Habakkuk 2.
He desired
hell, yeah.
You cannot be satisfied because a lot of people die every day. So with Esau, he wasn't satisfied with Idunia over there. He wasn't satisfied with He wanted the whole world, man.
Yeah.
Start with the Grecian Empire, Roman, all the way to now. You know what I'm saying? Esau is just fucking, he's a monster, man. Been in war since his empire began in the New Age.
chop down the whole tree, take it with him. He can't leave nothing for nobody else. He want to take the whole thing.
Yeah, because we need to claim for cool.
Yeah, how he divides the people upon his head. You know, Stephen was down his building, sleeping, scheming of how he could stay on top, keep everybody else under him. You know, but the Lord said, what? I'm set up one as prophet. You are not profitable, man. You know, so that was it.
And a little bit more.
Hey, read that. So read.
Cut.
because this devil is at his spiritual level, man. On a soul level, he just can't get it. He's a covetous man. So even he got everybody in a passion. He's still looking at what he can get from your ass, man. If you ain't got shit.
Yeah.
This is a Sirach 14:5. It says, "He that is evil to himself, whom will he be good?"
Yeah, hey, that's a what's that? That quack like a duck, walk like a duck, talk like a duck. It's a duck. So this devil, he's like a serpent in the scriptures. Random. It shows, poison. These different snake-like characteristics. It's a snake.
Right.
You don't gotta get bit by a snake to see this. A snake is poison. Proof is in the pudding. The characteristics and the actions is gonna show what type of man it is. This devil has shown nothing less. And who he is throughout the ages. This is the first captivity that we've been under this goddamn light. We had Greek Empire, we had the Roman Empire, and even prior to that, we always had this so-called white man working in the background trying to get us genocide against the Israelites. You had Haman the Agagite, she tried to get Israel pretty much wiped out. And then you have in the book of Psalms where it speaks about, oh, thou Edom racing. Because Esau was even working in the background with the Babylonians trying to get us took it out. Working in tandem with other nations to ensure the destruction of us as a people. So now you think this man has your best interest at hand?
He shall not take pleasure in his goods. Right? Verse 6. Yes, so the devil, he got all the good. He got all the uploads, all of that.
Right.
He's not satisfied. Verse 6, it says, there is none worse than he that envieth himself.
There is none worse than he that envieth himself. Yeah, so this devil doesn't even have himself situated. And God put it on to govern the next man. This is the man that we are subject to. A man that has mental health. He really has mental health problems, man. Going back from the beginning of the time, he has that anger when they see a so-called black man or Latino man as a nation. When they see us growing as a nation in the better parts of
I think he can.
yeah, so when he sees us in the prominent positions, he feels that we need to get dropped out of the notches. That's why we're doing it all throughout these states in the United States of America. As we go to the more luxurious side, we're going to start seeing Edomites, first. And you're going to see Indians, you're going to see the heathen nations. There might be a few, there may be a few things. It'll be quiet as hell, but it's like, talk to them niggas, they ain't got no dog in the fight, man. Right. They ain't got no aggression, man. They knew it, talk to them. Talk like the white man. So the white man has done a great job keeping the society intact and keeping this place in the bottom.
And this is a recompense of his wickedness.
Which is a recompense of the payback to come. He is back compensation to pay. So this devil has he's gonna get paid back for all the wickedness that he's done. scot-free for all the things he's done to each and every one of us collectively or individually. You know, he did a whole number on the minds of the black. That's why Jake has so much self-hatred. That's why Jake doesn't wear afro. You know, really have that spirit of empowerment of self, pride of self, because this devil has always instrumentally destroyed the image of the so-called black Latino or Native American dance culture. Even here, you know, and put it where this is better. Right. You know, you gotta talk like a white man. You know, communicate with the communication. Topics of it's so fucking Americanized. That's what we talk about with these fucking Americans talk about. They really talk about BS, you know? It says our minds is in the heavens, man. The scripture says that we see a new heaven and a new kingdom full of righteousness. And the fall of our enemy, you know? Some brothers might watch sports, you know, they might have certain hobbies. Nothing wrong with their hobbies, you know. But the Lions, I think, both of my thoughts is think about it, you know. The Lord turn, that's what we have. And we just discussed prophecy now. You know, judgment, we see judgment playing out in earth. Yes, judgment, you know. Going, you want to investigate to see, like this one situation with Eve. See, she was talking shit, and then you link it up with the prophecy, and you be like, oh yeah, see, the scripture says that every idle word she had to eat that. So now she got judged for, you know, talking about the black man, the white man ended up taking her out. Right. You know, that's the type of conversation we have because it's spiritual, man. You know, instead of talking about upliftment of us as a people, our people have that mentality of just talking down, thinking that there's not going to be no judgment. You know, but that's just an example, you know, of things that we should communicate about. Like we just talking about having that heavenly mind, spiritual power, camaraderie, being in the kingdom, being lifted up from this low state, no more sickness, no more crime. That's the scripture stuff. So that's what we want to hear, man. See?
So right, 14 to 7.
And that's true good living, man. This is good living. Say that you make $100,000 a year, you might get to a nice spot in the city. You know, you might get to a few ladies who deal with that. At the end of the day, you might get her pregnant. Next thing you know, she's doing child support. You see a dog respond. The amount of money that you was making over time starts to reduce. The demand of your skill, you know, starts to become more and more monopolized by the industry. So now you have to work a short amount of time, and your work becomes your family. Yeah. So you have to sacrifice yourself. This is God. No matter how you no matter what you make, no matter what you got to give this man. So around 14 to 7, you really want to have for it.
And if you do it good, you do it unwillingly.
Yeah, like even the whole thing with the integration prior to the segregation of blacks, they did that because it helps to make their ministry go further. They didn't do this thing because they felt bad. You know, abused as a people. It's not like he has sympathy or empathy. Because look at us now. We have to show them all the, you know, keep us thinking. So us as so-called minorities, they'll try to put women in higher positions. They do that for a reason. You know? So it's not always that strict self-esteem. It's always self-serving. Self-serving. And they know how to keep the image intact. talking about how they so Christian. But they ain't strong. They're not really Christian by giving you more money. And even if you still getting more money, it's still just another form of exploitation. So we don't believe you, white man. You know, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, and how you do it.
Why you use go back to the mainstream?
Never trust that. Never trust that either.
What do you mean?
Like even
divorce?
Like but it's still gonna be a slave. Same thing now. Even in slavery, or chattel slavery, all slaves were getting the leadership. And Negroes that was getting fair skin shakes that was given to it. It's slavery. You have house niggas. House niggas really nobody just talk about it. Everything is slavery. So they got confused. House niggas thought that he was a free man because he didn't sleep. A few doors down from the white man. He might get but he might be around the way, but he might go for things. You see them with the corporate ladder. You see them with the corporate ladder. Or the black woman. There's a lot of black women that was in the house. Even dark skinned black women. There wasn't just always light skinned black women that was in the house. Dark skinned black women that was in the house. Sometimes you would get sads. Some of them a little sassier than others. It's slavery. But nonetheless, yeah, but now, extreme chattel slavery, you got indentured servant, that's still a slave. That was just called a slave. That's still a corporate slave. But the title just changed. And just because you ain't got shackles, slavery doesn't, just because you got shackles or not, that's not a requirement of slavery. You can be in slavery and not have shackles. Shackles does not determine you a slave or entertainment. It's contract. That's the contract. That's a form of slavery. Just try to break away from that contract and watch what happens to your ass. Or go work for another industry. You're gonna get sued. Lose all your royalty, riches. So you're a slave. Take your mission away from you. I remember I seen a video when Nas was talking about how he was up to Prince. And he wanted to sample. I think he wanted to do music with Prince. Like, Prince asked him, like, do you own your master? Nah, just talking. I'm working on it, whatever. Prince was like, nah, some of you own your masters. What's the point of that? Making that statement, but basically you're a slave. Some people you would actually free man. You actually had your work for the, pretty much for the right. Prince actually wrote the word slave. Yeah. Side of his face. In his beard. And it was slave, right? And he had to change his name to slave. So we know exactly what we're talking about. We know where it is. We read Sirach 14:7. Sirach 14:7. And if he do it good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. Yeah, how like in this situation, just to relieve the situation. Like you at a job, you hear being a total asshole, and you might get to arguing with her, you get caught in the company. You're gonna kind of be like, you know what, I gotta adjust myself. I gotta apologize to this white lady. Tell her, you're not gonna do it because you really care or you really same race. Like, because if not, I'm gonna be fired. So the devil does the same thing. He'll say things and do things just the same face, but you keep yourself as a clean image that you can trust and rely on. That's a politician for you, man. You know, all these politicians say something, you know, to gain your vote. Look at Big Trump. Trump said so much and made so many empty promises. He's still learning. You know, he just made a statement when he said, our money has voted us enough.
Good.
We've been pushed around by Iran for 47 years, but not anymore. See, that's the statements that this man Esau would just come with. Us being pushed around by Iran, when? And what implication has Iran just put because of the straight? You know, this stuff has no merit. Like I said, it's conflict. He has his own style of thinking. But just watch
Say they come out the womb speaking lies.
speaking lies. Yeah, lies. Ever been around somebody that's an habitual liar? I met an habitual liar. You just let him talk. Like, this guy, and the lies get worse and worse. But they be hilarious after, you know, you might have a simple dick and shit. But you listen to it like, I had to do this one day, he was just lying. I used to gaslight him. I'm like, yeah, so what happened after that?
Now you got to tell another
Now
lie.
you gotta tell another lie. He was talking about how he robbed somebody. Like, yeah, me and my, he was like in 7th, 8th grade. That joint had me crying laughing, bro. I'm telling you as a kid, but I'm like, but that's he was a white boy. But that's the spirit of Esau, bro. He has the spirit of just being, but he's allowing out way higher level. Yeah. That's some low level. That's some we was kids and like 7th, 8th grade. Get that up in 6th grade, you know. But this devil is a deceiver. The scripture don't like him until a little bar is like, it's like him until the Bible.
Yeah.
You know.
This is the envious man hath a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul.
Yeah, covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. We was talking about that earlier about gentrification. Here it is, these devils have all these different. They have the best parts of every state, but then they'll go to the urban areas because they know it's closer to the city. You know, and it's the city attractive points of attraction. You know, want to come get some? Okay. I didn't know. But yeah, they'll gentrify it, and we was looking into it how gentrification it started in the Roman Empire. The word gentrify, I think it was something gentleman. You know, so this devil actually feels like he's the most qualified to stay in the best part of every city and state, and that's why he throws you out and marks the prices up. So he knows that you can't afford it.
Yeah.
But as you go to the actual store, Whole Foods, you barely afford it. Yeah, you barely afford it.
verse 10 says, so that 14 and 10, the wicked man envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at his table.
Oh man, that's a so-called white man. And they try to call us niggas. But nigger and niggard is the same thing. Niggard really goes to be pretty selfish. But that was a nigger and niggard. You know? When you want the word nigger means black, when you want the definition of the life, wickedness, that's it. The scripture don't like it. You want to do a the scripture says we are. It said many shall be purified and made white. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Now, this he's really a nigger, a nigger, greedy as hell. Look at this. Look at these the super rich. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. Man, these devils, man, they got so much damn money, man. They be building, they be getting houses the size of a building. You know, that might be one house. Or they might just be cheap as hell, like and just have like a ranch style of a house and just set up one all his wealth. You know, never to reinvest in. And how did they amass all that wealth? People on this time working, toiling, busting their ass. And Jake was the answer. And for 60, 70 years in these companies, man. You know, some things happen in some of these industries for 50 plus years. You know, and now it's time to retire and broke it up, give me a soul away. So stuff. That's what it sounds, man. In the ancient world, you didn't have to labor for that span of time to actually become wealthy or well off. You know, speak about a Hebrew servant. Buster Hart went into that. You had a Hebrew servant. You would make that. That was to the kid. I just see Jacob and he got 2 wives. You ain't get no wives off of the labor. Just imagine if you work and you got the amount of years you work in some of these jobs. Lose. Because if my brothers were that amount of years of work, work service, over 10 years, 15 years, my brothers would be from 16, 17, so they started doing other job right now. And if you divide that to what you were supposed to have as far as assets, what is supposed to get automatically just stop from the government, you know? And then you're supposed to get something that they supposed to take care of your bills, your property. That's how we look at the service. You know? But they don't liken us up to their brother. They liken us up to you. You know? Where you just work.
The foreigners, they're brothers, but they of another nation, like they may be from Spain or something. But they all land of right. That's migration. In Canada, so far you go there. Right. In Canada, that's why they all those people over there in California doing well there, but none of them.
And that's why truly speaking of, that's why sometimes they can actually not justifying crime. And that's the thing to do. But some people be in such jacked up positions, man, that's all they feel like that's the only way out. You know? That's how this devil has created this system to be like muscle pit. It's like a slippery slope incline pit. And he just holds it up, holds it in. You know? Can't get up out of there. That's it.
They ain't trying to bring that to the table.
Yeah, women that have criticized these women. Yeah. She just feel a certain way. This is cheating.
And enough ain't never enough.
Right. Never enough. You know, she might cheat on you or take the kids. Now you want child support. And child support don't make no sense here in America. So if you're a millionaire, I just got what's name? This woman was already rich, right? Yeah. She divorced him. She got like 4 houses. Some shit like that. You got to be having to pay $30,000, $40,000 a month. And child support? What child needs that type of support? What they gonna spend?
Kanye, he's paying healthy time.
What type of kid needs $30,000 a month in support? That doesn't make no sense. And then the women don't never have to get no statements to the judge or receipts. Oh, this is the $30,000. This child, these are $30,000 worth of Pampers and Similac. They just take the money. Man. That's wicked as hell, man. And then they'll have the ability to divorce you just because. Like I said, with the term cheat, I wanted to have before. The word cheat means it's stealing. Stealing the property. And if you're a man and you have another woman, that's not cheating. If you say, see that a woman forgetful possession. But today's new speed, they have changed the concept. And they just throw around words here. They just stick. Still got to take care of it.
Can't say, you know, that's what make it not cheating. You got two. You got two cars. Like you didn't play nobody out.
You didn't play nobody. Yeah, the wealthier, the more money you got. The more children you got.
Like I said, it takes Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12, it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Yeah, women rule over them. That's in this society particularly. I said, the beer women, they don't know. They don't. Slavery. It is legal because the devil says so. Here it is like this Sugar Shane Moses divorced his wife. When Sugar Shane Moses divorced his wife, one of the requirements I'm not mistaken was for him to take one of his daughters.
Not in the jail.
Taking blows to the head, blows to the chest, you know, in the ring, fighting for her life. But she got the belt. What's she gonna do with the belt? You know, but don't be her.
Real gold.
But she got the belt.
talk shit, get online, talk shit about niggas all the day long. But this nigga paying you all this money, man.
Right.
$40,000, $50,000 a month and shit. And she's still talking shit.
He still don't. Not even able to see.
And he's still not able to see the kids. And the kids don't grow up talking junk about him, like being a deadbeat. A deadbeat that's paying $40,000 a month. So what is Esau? You work for these jobs for the year, and you might make 40, 50,000. That ain't Esau not a deadbeat. It's, you know what it is? It's a get there Proverbs 11.
It says, "O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err."
Esau causes you to go off. That's why you can't play into his head. That's why it's true too. You can't be emotional. You know? And the Lord gives us a platform to vent, you know, through the Spirit. But we understand that we are right here in the society. You know, each and every one of us could possibly get caught out there. You know, if we miss stuff in the society. But the hundred is structured to be a direct threat to the black Latino. Look at ICE, the Latino. You know, they getting rounded up and thrown in these camps, and they saying a lot of those women are actually. They saying a lot of those women that's being thrown in those camps are winding up being pregnant. So they're speaking about the ICE agents actually raping the women and impregnating. That's like Jacob's trouble right here, man. We're at war, like for real.
Yeah, but it just seems like
Right.
Yeah.
what the Lord said in the season.
Yeah.
Saying that now, like you said, it's happening. Like take it now, but everybody's lollygagging, checking it Snapchat,
This month.
taking pictures of their
Right.
right. But everything is overlaps though. You got to speak the middle. You know, beside the truth, that fake Christianity doctrine. You got the world doing the same thing. Same this way. Everybody complaining online about troubles and agreements in the world, but the world itself in reality. Oh, is everything? But it's not. It says, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Destroy the way of our path. Yeah, you got certain jakes that want to walk a smooth path. You see how this world had really destroyed the mentality of us to walk a criminal path. That's even in the music. You see what's popularized. It's to be a dope boy, you want to be a thug or a gangster. You know, so they make it work damn near like this. Some of the options that we have this today. And they play with the minds of the naive. Jake don't really have a high sense of intelligence. So they run to that. They run to that result. You know, it's almost like they say that's a good black.
Yeah. Right.
You know, there's so many words. Rob and steal niggas. Just live a criminal life the other day. A satanic lifestyle or average lifestyle. And that's just, it's not just a black nigga. Black people.
It's like cannibals. They own people. I got precepts. No, that's it.
I'll come back.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 27, verse 1. It says in that day, the with his sword and great and strong swords upon his Leviathans, the serpent.
Yeah, see, he's notorious for using his sword a lot of her. You know, but there's legislation, sword, killing, artillery, and these different there's so many weaponized. He weaponized everything.
Yeah, great millstone. That's the smash the clay. Iron.
Yeah, and Leviathan. Okay, but Leviathan known as the apex predator. Really, that's the top of the food chain. Because even now, some of the top apex predators, like for example, is a killer whale. Killer whales, eagles are known as apex predators. There's a few other apex predators I can't think of off that, but there's nothing higher than Leviathan. If Leviathan runs into great white shark, killer whale, anything of that nature, it's all, oh yeah, they go. Because of all them, even when you go into the characteristics of Leviathan and Job 41, it's defensively overpowered as well as attack wise. You know, so speak about the skills, fresh tank, you know, speaks about the teeth, speaks about it speaks about all around how
Fire going out his eyes,
yeah, yeah.
his skin is his brass, skin great brass.
So why would you take something like that down? You know, and that's like what the term what that likeness for yourself.
I got the but this is from the it's a line here from the Better Bible. It says the certain on his time where is signal not stop
I stopped thinking about it. Yeah, he succeeded ancient Babylon, he succeeded ancient Greece, Rome, Medo-Persian Empire, even Britain, Spain, all these different countries, you know, raising this stuff up at a level over them and getting that independence. 1776, they succeeded in stuff, you know, and then the vast majority of these nations now, they run to the America for help, you know, you got it, whether it's military support or economic support, America is a large contributor to keeping these countries afloat. But it's the time when the scripture says, the weak says, let the weak say I'm strong. These nations are going to America for dependency. Yeah.
it says strong concordance what you got Python sea monster dragon like we just read in the lexicon breath twisted and forged and serpent of the larger kind especially a crocodile any very large aquatic creature like like sea monster. It says sea monster here. It says any very it's like used for a fierce enemy.
So called right, but he is a fearsome. You know, look at the amount of even the defensive budget of America. You know, what they've displayed and what they've shown overtly of what they have in their arsenal. You know, and you know, 2 years ago, I remember Obama said they had Iron Man. You know, so this devil got some shit, man.
iRobot. They showed that
iRobot,
yes. They got those things out here now. See the Instagram post. What is somebody, she was riding by with him. I think the nigga was just, it was a dog or something. Like, what the hell? Dog, you call GT right there. They got this stuff in front of you. And they call it, they call it J.
So if I'm not mistaken, brother, it was right here in Atlanta. I believe that was right here in Atlanta.
But they showed
the robot dog, and then when she had done it,
oh yeah, she was driving the car, yeah.
Yep.
Technology, they were speaking about, they're gonna make sure that they got nigga hating data uploaded up in it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now they ain't gonna need the cops. They got the dogs. They gonna have that spirit on them to just hate niggas, man. Profiling. That's why we gotta get the fuck about this Terminator. Yeah, Terminator. That's why we really have to get about this society. We have to get deliverance. Because this is the thing of running. Or going fleeing to Israel like how those guys in the motor did, and next thing you know, they catch a hammer right now. We have to fight. Speak about saints shall take the kingdom. This is the thing where you run, try to find an area that's not affected by America, run to Thailand, some location, man. Nah, the Lord has set us up because we're doing this fight, to be ready to rise up.
God, it says Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1 again. In that day, Most High with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan the piercing serpent.
Yeah, so the Lord has another sword. Chapter 15, verse. Rendering judgment and punishment on the so-called white man. What they call unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomenon, flying saucers, whatever the other people call it. These spaceships of what y'all experience as the Father as y'all coming from nothing. And they'll put it out on media as aliens. So that they can keep the mind of the people, especially the military. That's why I tell you when in Ezra how they nurse fight. So the devil is gonna fight. He's gonna try to fight Yahweh Shai and the angels, but he's gonna get put down like a dog that he is. And when everything is said and done, when the smoke is gonna clear, it ain't gonna be Russia on top. It's not gonna be China on top. It's not gonna be Iran on top. It's gonna be the ones that's started with black folks.
Even Leviathan that great, even Leviathan that crooked serpent, he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea.
He's gonna slay the dragon that is in the sea. The sea represents being in the midst of the people, and the dragon represents America. America as well as all of its constituents. Because it tells you in the book of Revelation how your house shall wear many crowns. So he's going to snatch down all monarchies, leaders, kings, presidents, anybody that's in a noble position. They ain't going to be in that position anymore. We ain't going to have the neighbor going free. People are gonna have positions, but it ain't gonna be no noble position. The scriptures speak about taskmasters. And Esau, you ain't gonna be a task. You don't get task. You take the task. Your task. Yeah, your task. You don't get them no task. You're the reason why this world is shit that it's in. Why everything is just dying. Or if it ain't dying, it feel like dying. I'm blaming the white man.
We're supposed to be around that thing.
Your phone get cut off, the white man. He's somewhere in this. Speak about
Satan being the principality. So he's always in the midst. That accuser of our brother. But see, we make accusations, but it's true. Because really, you can't blame the white man. Because he ain't black man. He's supposed to have the technology. Now you got to pay on this shit. They get caught up, because of what you let. Blame the white man. Any circumstances of hurt or pain, reason why you're in the situation that you're in, that's the white man. It's his fault. He's gonna pay. He gotta pay every little thing that put it on his time. Sometimes you be in your spirit and you internalize a lot of stuff that you go through because you might not have enough, or might not be in a position that you in. You feel like you're at a certain age. You feel like you're kind of behind the curve. Nah, blame the white man. You know, he's the one that's sucking the resources. He takes all the resources from you, and he gives you just a little bit of play. It's like a playground. You get all the, you amass all the, you get a little portion, give you a few sticks. Like, it's a name on Friday. They gave him $1. You're like, what am I doing this? And making enough. Yeah. That's he's like, nigga making enough. Right. Hey, every time I'm doing $1, bro. Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 27, verse 2. And that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. Verse 3. I, the Lord, will keep it. I will water it every month. It's like every moment.
That's what
Just, yeah. You want to blame Esau. Here's the one reason why you can blame. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
Yeah, because we're not even supposed to be here, man. Oh, we living in these cities and niggas representing. We ain't even supposed to be here.
Right.
We're supposed to be in our own land. It's over there.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The hand is the control. If anything is in the palm of your hand, like the draft.
Just turn 18. Just turn 18.
I'll pick you up.
Right. Because it's like, if you're going to do something that really benefited us, you got to go through all this fucking paperwork. You know, you got to get this paperwork, you got to do that. You got to do that.
Certain time.
Yeah, it's a certain time, the dates.
You got to start all
Yeah.
over.
Like you're trying to buy a house, you can't
Time,
spend no money. You know, but if I want to go fight, if I got to risk my life, I want to go risk my life, I ain't got to do shit. I just try to turn 18. Get right. Get a car.
Can't even drink it there.
You got to get a credit check. You know, you got to get some certain
Yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah.
You know, that shit might process. It might take a few days.
Yeah. Still get the lie.
Still get denied. Anything you do in America, that's a great point. Anything you do in America, you got to go through 1,000 fucking hoops. But when it comes to getting shit overseas and dying, you got to stop it.
These devils got all your information too. So when he comes for you already know what you should be. Yeah. When you up and down, like you want to talk to you, ain't no way you can do it.
Right. Yep.
Gotcha.
on the way.
So this kid on the way. So, yeah. Hey, hey, where you at? Hey, where you at? Hey, run. Or you face prototype, you know? So now they'll lock you up for not fighting for this weak ass country. And they lock you up, then they lock you up in. You already locked up here. So if you don't fight for this country and die, they're gonna lock you up. See? But like you said, they have been so hypnotized by the mind that they can't slow down. You know? You try to tell Jake that, they be looking at you like, for real. It makes sense now. Some Jake didn't really process it and it makes sense. You know?
They try to wind up his fornication.
They feel like this man really can't do what he wants. He's been doing wrong since the inception.
You know, there's the devil. He's talking about our vessel. How did it come out?
I know, right?
Jake, like I said, so confident.
Right.
And Jake just like, yo, that's our government. That's our war. The Lord said,
Yeah,
the Most High is your lawgiver.
yeah.
It's not no goddamn Edomite. It's not your brother.
Right.
Yeah, niggas get possessive. Niggas be real possessive of stuff that ain't theirs. I hate, especially on jobs. Certain people get positioned and niggas say, get out of my building. Manager like say that. Like, you don't know nothing. You know that nigga $24 an hour. Talking about get out of my building.
Right.
That's ain't no Jake, man. Really, Jake mind is when niggas start to talk like that, act like that, then ain't no point in arguing with them, trying to get into a nigga that can't get it. Like how we jump off of it. Nigga that can't get it. It's for the ones that can't get it. You know?
Book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof.
See, the earth isn't given into the hand of the righteous.
Right.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why it tells you second earth and eighth chapter. Out of
Book of chapter 8 and verse 1 says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many,
yeah, the Lord have made this world for many,
but the world to come for few.
but the world to come for few. And that's gonna be a kingdom wherein it's righteous, man. You know? So this current state of what we living in is a wicked, evil, perverse society, man. You know? Where these leaders cause you to hear, whether it's politicians, religious leaders, so-called figureheads, you know, that everybody trusts and admire by, it's set up to make you fall, man. And they keep filling you up with fluff. You know, it's fattening words. The scripture says, the prophets prophesy not unto us. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits. So these people want to hear this. They want to hear lies. God so loved the world, but they don't understand it in context. Because we know that as John 3:16, they really think about God actually loves the whole entire world. So speak about how long it takes to they just want to hear that, sleep, go back, go to sleep. You're already dead, feel like things are going to be better. You know, happy days, you know. Niggas like fairy tale, man. How the government give out stimulus packages. Like it may look like a good thing, but really just paying it back to something all that, man. But as soon as when they first did it, they first gave like the first stimulus package, inflation spiked up. You know, so groceries got higher, gas got higher, Yeah, and I seen a video on that. You know, but there was an actual video of an individual. He broke it down how the government deliberately do that here. I think it's like a golden area of cars. You know, not only do you come with buyback program. He was buying them and he was actually destroying the cars. So it was something with the industry. What is that in the industry? And he started to destroy all these good older cars. That's why the other cars don't do really hella miles over there. They built up, you know, because the older cars. Some of these older cars are better than these new cars. You know? Like an empty, in that video, they put a different type of fuel in them. You know, crank it up for a certain amount of time, and then it would just crank up. Yeah. And I got a feeling they're gonna do that again. But see, this devil will deliberately poison. What's that poison? Yeah. Put poison within the industry. I don't know. He does the real estate. He does every little industry. He just snake his way in. He gonna cut it out, and he gonna just to keep. We're talking about the agriculture. Keep this fucking cause in it, man. It don't matter about everybody suffering. It's about control, man. You know? But it's a judgment factor. Because at the end of the day, resources are supposed to be rationed to your neighbor. And that's how you know we're not really living by neighbor. Scripture says love, working the will towards the neighbor. Working the earth is being sound. You see everybody competing in the state of Texas. Yeah, comfortable. Everybody competing in the state of Texas. You're trying to protect the That's crazy. A lot of land. But they ain't trying to give you how to allocate it towards government subsidy that the food that they give out at one time. I didn't say that it's not giving out. They're winter full of not your friend. He's your enemy. Never trust him. As it is written. It's the book of Isaiah 32, verse 7. The instruments also of the church are evil, and he devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. That's it. You got to read that last one. Revelation 13 and 9 was a classic. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. It's the patience and the faith of the saints. So with that, we're going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, Shai, Shem